This has Canucks fans fired up as the team is rolling heading into the Four Nations tournament with multiple players set to represent their country, and we get a major update on Canucks top prospect Tom Willander. We're going to break all this down in this episode, so you're not going to want to miss that. So let's just hop straight into the first topic today, where we do see the Vancouver Canucks rolling heading into the Four Nations break. Now we know there was so much surrounding the Vancouver Canucks. We've seen JT Miller moved, we've seen the Canucks acquire multiple players, but the Vancouver Canucks have been the top team in the NHL recently, and it's really going to show the impact of this team once they start rolling. Looking at the Canucks, they're 6-3-1 in their last 10, but in their last 8 games, they're 6-1-1. They do have the second wildcard spot, only 5 points behind the Colorado Avalanche with 2 games in hand. They are 3 points ahead of the Calgary Flames. But with the Canucks rolling right now, it does seem like they're going to secure a playoff spot and for sure a wildcard spot. And the biggest thing is they're without their best player in Quinn Hughes over the stretch as well. They're 3-0-1 without Quinn Hughes in the roster in the last 4 games. This Canucks team is looking like a new team. They got their life back and things are looking awesome for the team going into the Four Nations. Now looking at the Four Nations, funny enough, the only picture I could find from the Canucks Twitter on this had JT Miller, but looking at the Canucks Four Nations, they have multiple players representing countries during this tournament. Rick Tocchet will be the coach of Canada, PD joining Sweden, Lankinen joining Finland, and Quinn Hughes is a game time decision with Team USA going into the Four Nations. He has been dealing with an injury, but the biggest thing is we're going to see a lot of Canucks playing and one coach for Team Canada, so we'll have someone representing the Vancouver Canucks on each team. Looking at this with the Four Nations break, we can see the games are starting February 12th on Wednesday, the 13th, the 15th, 17th, and then the championship game on the 20th. We're going to get a lot of action with the Vancouver Canucks, and this is going to be a breath of fresh air. A new tournament, new players in it. I'm quite excited to watch this. And listen, Canada's going to win it. I am a little biased in saying that, but a lot of these teams have a chance. Lankinen could steal it for Finland. We could see Sweden go all the way, or Team USA is also looking like a powerhouse. But looking at some of the players, like I said, Quinn Hughes is currently out. The best defenseman in the NHL, bar none. It's not even a debate anymore. 59 points in 47 games, 14 goals, 45 assists. He's been out for a little bit and still leading the league in scoring when it comes to defensemen. I could be wrong. That could have changed as early as this morning, but last time I checked 2 days ago, he was leading. Looking at Quinn joining Team USA, he's going to be the best defenseman on this roster. Of course, Kevin Lankinen is another one to join Finland, setting the NHL record for most road wins to start a season with 10. Joining the Canucks and looking like a godsend on this team. He could go in and steal the starting crease for Team Finland with how well he's been playing this year for the Canucks. And once again, fan favorite Elias Pettersson is going to join Team Sweden, and he's been on a bit of a heater to end the season. I mean, we've seen in the intro clip that I can play again in a second, the beautiful assist he had to Hronek. He looked like a wrecking ball versus the Toronto Maple Leafs. PD is getting his groove back. Rick Tocchet actually talked out and said how this is going to be a nice little mental break. He'll be able to join his friends, his countrymen, play for Sweden in the Four Nations tournament, and maybe just get his groove back, have fun again. We've seen him have fun against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Maybe he'll have even more fun in this tournament to get back to his old self, where we've seen him put up 100 points. But looking at the Four Nations tournament, I mean, like I said, this does have JT Miller on it, and I'm quite excited to see Sweden play the United States on February 17th on Monday. I think that's going to be a fun game, especially for Canucks fans, to see JT Miller have his revenge against his former teammate. But looking at this, what's your guys' thoughts on this, and who do you think's going to come out victorious? I think it's going to be Canada, but this is going to be a tight race, and I'm quite excited for that. But before we get into the second topic today, I do want to give a shout out to everyone watching this video. And if you made it this far, we're about 4.5 minutes in, make sure to go down and hit that subscribe button. We'll keep you up to date on not only everything to do with the Canucks, but the Four Nations tournament with the Canucks in the tournament as well. Prospects, anything you can think of, we will keep you up to date on that. So you're going to want to subscribe and keep up to date on the Canucks. But that, let's just hop straight into the second topic today, where we do get a quote from Rick Dolly, and he says the next defenseman signing for the Canucks will be Tom Willander out of Boston University in a few weeks. Now, before I see people go in the comments and say, hey, this came out Friday, I understand that it's been a busy weekend. It's my birthday weekend, actually. So I'm trying my best here. Looking at Tom Willander joining this Canucks team is a huge step and should have a lot of fans fired up, where he is coming in as the top Canucks prospect. We do see the top 50 prospects in the entire National Hockey League. If you work your way down, Tom Willander is sitting number 14. Jonathan Lekramacky is sitting 11, but we did see him join this Canucks team for spurts throughout the year. In Abbotsford, he does have 14 goals so far with 21 points. He's looked outstanding in the AHL, but Tom Willander hasn't joined the Canucks organization yet, and he's going to sign, putting up 15 points in 24 games with Boston University. Tom Willander is going to be the franchise right-handed defenseman. He's not going to be the franchise defenseman. We have Quinn Hughes on this roster, but looking at Tom Willander as a whole, this is something to be very, very, very excited about. Looking at Tom Willander with Boston University, as I said, 15 points in 25 games, 2 goals, 13 assists. We've seen him represent Team Sweden under 20 in the World Junior Championships over the last 2 seasons, 3 points in 7 games just in 2024. In 2025, he kind of exploded a bit for 5 points in 7 games. Looking at Tom Willander, he was a former 11th overall pick in 2023, a right-handed defenseman, 6'1". He's looking like the next star on this Canucks team, and it only seems like a month or 2 away until we see him join this team and maybe make an immediate impact within this Canucks top 6 defenseman right away. I know fans don't want Noah Juulsen in this lineup, so maybe Tom Willander comes in and steals the 7th or 6th defenseman slot from him. Looking at Willander, he's a big body. He can move the puck. He's mobile. He's an incredible shutdown defenseman. He's a jack of all trades. Tom Willander is going to come in, make an impact, as I said, with this Canucks roster. I mean, looking at the top 50 prospects in the NHL, cracking the top 15 with Jonathan Lekramacky is a feat on its own. We're going to see him join this team, make an impact, or maybe he joins Abbotsford, but it's going to happen this season. Tom Willander will end up being a Canuck. I mean, looking at his last couple of games, you can see that he's nearly a point per game. Against Harvard, 1 assist. New Hampshire, 2 assists. You can work your way down. He's nearly a point per game over the stretch of what? Almost 10 games? Tom Willander is the real deal. Joining this Canucks team, I could see him immediately joining into the top 6. Carson Soucy's name has been on the block. If Soucy gets moved, they could have someone like Mancini join this team. Juulsen could step in, but I do think Tom Willander is going to get a shot, maybe on the bottom pairing. Even if they keep Soucy, I would love to see a Soucy and Tom Willander bottom pairing to see how that works. DPD's looked great. That's another big reason the Canucks could look at this. They've drafted defensemen coming in. They're going to have 2 signed on this roster next year in DPD and Willander. But looking at how well DPD's played, maybe they look at Tom Willander and said, hey, DPD was drafted later than Tom Willander. Tom Willander is looking like our best prospect at the moment. Why don't we give him a shot? Maybe he'll come in. Maybe he'll push his way into the top 4. That might be pushing it a tiny bit this season. But Tom Willander is going to end up joining this team, and it's going to be very exciting. But with the Canucks on a roll to end the season, with a lot of the players joining the 4 nations, what's your thoughts on how the Canucks are currently playing? Are you happy? Are you excited for the second half after the 4 nations going into the playoffs? Because mark my words, they're going to make the playoffs. But what you guys' thoughts on those? Go down and leave a comment below. While you're down there, leave a like, subscribe, share this with your friends. We'll be back with another episode, maybe tonight or tomorrow. The Super Bowl's tonight, so maybe not till late tonight. But make sure to go check it out just in case. But I've been your host, Mark, and take care.